was 14 years old, I was walking home by myself after school. That day, I had stayed back at school with some of my friends so I could hang out and talk to them for around 30 minutes. But that meant by the time that I went home, the route that I normally go down by was pretty much empty. I didn't think too much of it at the time and instead was listening to music as I walked home. Since the road was pretty close to my house and I walked down it countless times, I wasn't really afraid. As I was walking, a car drove up behind me as slowly and drove so close to me that I ended up becoming wedged between the car and the wall of some person's home. He lowered down his window and asked me how to get to a certain road. But because I was so flustered at how immediately this happened, I just shook my head no. He didn't drive off. So I looked back at him, and when I did, I realized that he was masturbating. I didn't know whether I should run or scream because it was an empty road, and even if I did, no one would really hit me. So my first instinct was to look back at his face, and when I did, he stared at me dead in my eye and essentially asked me to get into the car and join him. I said no out of pure disgust, and he clearly didn't like that. So he raised his voice and repeated the order for me to get into his car in a more stern and gruff tone. At this point, I don't remember how exactly I'd done it because it happened really fast. However, I managed to shimmy my way out of the wedge between the car and the wall, and I ran as fast as I could in the opposite direction straight into town where I ended up. Calling a friend and breaking down in tears. I didn't tell any family members at the time, but I did eventually tell them. One was very supportive and comforted me, whereas the other wasn't as much, and stated that I, as a girl, should have been more responsible. And if I was more responsible, then it wouldn't have happened. And to be honest, I believed that for a very long time that maybe I shouldn't have been listening to music. I should have been more alert about my surroundings, or that I should have gone home earlier, or I should have gone down a different road. It took me longer than I would have liked, but I did eventually realize that it wasn't my fault in any way, shape, or form. I was just a kid, and even 2 or 3 years later, I still go down the same road, even though now I'm definitely a bit more cautious. I feel like in Sri Lanka, when you talk about sexual harassment, victim blaming, victim shaming is one of the most serious problems and the biggest issue that is ingrained into victims and survivors' heads, that maybe they had done something different, then it wouldn't have happened, that the accident of their harassment or their assault depends solely on their course of actions. And it shouldn't be blamed on the perpetrators. I think the more we push the narrative to hold the perpetrator accountable for everything relating to the incident, the easier it becomes for victims and survivors to feel as if there is an open space for speaking out and that they should not be blamed, and they should definitely not blame themselves. I think that this would help many young girls and boys recover from their harassment or their assault and come to terms with what happened and move on.